Hi friends, welcome to Rita's Paper Motif. I wanted to check in and encourage you to finish up your card making organizer, and I wanted to share a tip. So if you stick with me, I'll share a project that I wanted to make with you as well. But first, just in case you're new, let me introduce myself. I'm Rita. I love to create card designs, scrapbook pages, and 3D projects. I also love to share all of this with you in hopes that you will be inspired to create and share with those that matter in your life. I'm also an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and paper crafting is not only my hobby, but it's my small business. And as a paper crafter, I use Stampin' Up! Products 95% of the time. So if you'd like to recreate my designs or projects, you're more than welcome to purchase the Stampin' Up! Products from my online store at ritaspapermotif.com. And if you're watching on Facebook, please consider a thumbs up and a hello. They're very much appreciated. If you're watching on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I upload new content. Okay, let's get with it. So here is my organizer. Now I did last week, or the beginning of the week, I should say, Monday, I came on and shared with you how to create your own organizer. So if you don't have all the downloads, yours might be thinner like this. But on the video, we did create all of these different sections that are separated by tabs. And so mine is basically the same thing as the one we created, except for it's got all of those downloads. Now, speaking of downloads, everything but the calendar that I have in mind, or that I use in mind to plan my Christmas card making adventure, all of these are downloadable, and you can find them at Rita's Paper Motif. You also find the links, and then you can just print them off. So why the organizer? Well, here's what I've found in my lifetime. I love, like I told you, I love to create cards and tags and 3D projects, as well as scrapbook pages. And so I like them to do them around Christmas as well, and they're Christmas themed, right? So I do all my own Christmas cards. But here's what I found is that when I just decide, okay, now it's time to do my Christmas cards, if I don't have a map or a plan, sometimes it gets very, very frustrating. So using something like this planner is something that I've tested, and I actually got the idea for this particular planner from May Made It. I've adapted it to my own need. So, and that you can do that with any of us paper crafters. You're more than welcome to edit the projects and make them your own. But one of the things that is important to me is to be able to plan a little ahead of time and have everything ready, so that once I start creating, I don't, I have to stop and go buy or order envelopes, or I run short of postage stamps, or worse yet, I run short of cardstock or designer series paper, or I really want to try something new and I don't have it on hand. So this planner alleviates a lot of that. Or I'm looking for an address that I really want to send someone a card and I don't have it, and that takes a long time to maybe confirm that address. So this really is quite helpful. So let's talk about it. One of the downloads that I suggest you really do download is the Christmas Card Composition Book Designer Guide. And so this tells you where each one of those downloads goes, what section, and it just helps you to keep in line. And when you look at the Christmas card planner, this also coincides or is subject to all of these different sections. So let's just kind of quickly go through. So you have the planning, that's where you get your organizer already. Now, I did not offer a download for the Christmas card organizer calendar, but you can get a template. Just Google templates and you can find all kinds online that you can print. And the reason, I'll just be honest, the reason is because this has to be printed on both sides, and if you mess up one side, then your whole catalog is, or calendar, I don't know why I'm calling it a catalog, your whole calendar is off, and then it's just a lot of, for me it was kind of frustrating. So I just decided, why take a chance that you might be that frustrated, and you can just download any template and make it work. So in the planning section, that's where I did put the planner, composition planner, and then I also put the timeline, and we're going to look at that timeline in just a minute. And so this section here is the addresses. This to me is very important because here's where I would put my stamps. Now I did order Christmas stamps. They should be here tomorrow actually, and I ordered enough for all of my cards, and then I just stuck a sticky note right in here just in case I need it. And then something that you can download is this address list. It's very simple. I just got a template off online, and it's for those addresses that, you know, you meet people or you get a card from somebody and you feel like you want to send one back. This is where you can get those addresses. Or maybe last year you got a card and you didn't get it in on your regular email list, or I'm sorry, address list, and so you can copy it on here, and then when you're addressing your cards, then you'll have it there. And so I do put all of my, actually what I do is I have my list. It's already on kind of a template for the Avery address labels, and so then I just print it off. I don't address each card individually because I always find that I start out straight on the envelope, and before you know it, the name is going uphill or something. So just for me, it's much easier just to do the labels and try to make them very attractive, and that's just easier for me. But you do you, because I do believe that a hand addressed envelope is very personable. All right, so that's that section. And then design, here is where I take all of my designs, and I have all of the measurements, and you can sketch them. I don't want to show you everything because we're going to be doing some of those, but that's all in here. And I have a little sprocket, so sometimes when I do that design, because I'm working out the bugs, I'll take a picture with my sprocket and I'll put it right in there with the measurements. And any measurements that I find I need to tweak, then I'll put that in there too. And then the supply list is extremely important because, you know, when you're getting your cards ready and getting everything ready, you want to make sure you have all the supplies. So, you know, I do an inventory. So I know I want to make this card and this card. I'll write down the different things that I need. Do I need basic white cardstock? Do I need embossing powder? Do I need whatever I need? I write it down on the item part, and then I put the name of the project, whether it's going to be a tag or if it's a Christmas card. I write that down. If I have it on hand, I check it. If I need to order it, then I put the order date, and then when the order comes in, I put the order received date. This was very helpful because I've ordered I have all my products ready to go. I hate to start doing something and then have to stop and order. So for me, this is really important. And so this would go in the supply list. And then that's downloadable as well. So let's see what I have in here. I actually have a checklist. So you know, it's listed on here whether it's colored cardstock, DSPs, what's called specialty paper, or designer series paper, or specialty paper might be like glitter or gold foil or something like that. envelopes. I want an envelope for every card, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. I want to make sure I have all the adhesive I need. Of course, paper and scissors and trimmer, and the Simply scoreboard if you don't have a paper trimmer that scores. Some people just like their Simply scored in addition to the paper trimmer. So whatever works for you, there's no wrong answer there. And then a bone folder. You know, bone folders are like, can be your best friend, and your take-a-pick tool. And then I look for the stamp sets, and we're going to talk about the stamp sets I'm going to be using too. Clear blocks, that's important. If you don't have the right size of block, it can be awkward. And Stampin' Blends, we're going to be using those, so I needed to make sure mine were there. I use colored pencils, and then, you know, make sure your chamois, it's a good time for me to buy a chamois because, you know, the chamois last forever, and sometimes they just get so, mine just gets beat up. It really does. So that's a good time for me just to order a new one. And then all your cutting supplies. Do you have your dies? Do you need new plates on your cut and emboss machine? Like for my mini one, I really do need new plates because mine are pretty beat up. And then just your embellishments. You know, what kind of embellishments? Do you have everything you want? And then your embossing powders, your heat tool, stickers. And then I also look for a dressing pen. So I like the journaling pen that we have. I just like the way that it writes. So they come in a package of 3. And then address labels and envelope sealers. So do you like to do the wax, or I just do a sticker? Just a plain gold sticker is good enough for me. So that is downloadable too, and it goes right in here. And then of course you have your work log. So that's downloadable too. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then I also have the mailing. So this is like the final part of mailing. It's a little bit different than the other one that we talked about. And so, you know, this is where all the address list is finalized. Your envelopes are addressed. You've got your return address. You've got your postage stamps on there. You've got your sealers. And then you sort the ones that you're going to hand deliver or mail. That should probably go before you put your postage stamps on. And then you confirm the postal deadline. Now I do have some that go across the pond, so I'm going to have those ready before Thanksgiving, and I just don't have to worry about it. And then as long as the card gets there in December, I'm okay with it. And then, you know, if I'm going to hand deliver it, then I decide when and where. Most of the time I will go ahead and mail it, because what if something happens? I don't go to that event where I was planning to hand deliver. And then cards, you know, are they packaged or protected if they need to be? I try not to do those because they do take the mailers and they take extra postage. And then also, are the cards ready to be mailed on the scheduled date? And so as we're talking about that scheduled date, that'd be a good way to just, let me just touch on the memory, and then we're going to go right into the point that I want to make today. So then I do my Christmas card memory keeping at the end. Are there projects that I'm likely not to revisit? Are there ones that I like to visit, and can I use them for more than Christmas? So I just make all those notations here. And so that is why I feel that the organizer is very, very important for me. And I think that you will find that it's a great tool as well. Now, this is what I wanted to talk to you about today, is the Christmas card planner. So I know, like I told you, I'm going to be doing tags and scrapbook pages and gifts and gift card holders, but I realize that you may not have the time, nor maybe you just don't care to do that. So maybe you're strictly joining me just for the Christmas cards, and that's okay. But having a card planner timeline list will help, because if you want these cards ready to go December 1st, there's a lot of work you need to do beforehand, and there's a lot of decisions you need to make beforehand. So are you going to make 25 cards total? You're going to make 50 cards total? 100 cards total? If you are, then there's a certain time frame and there's a certain number of cards that you need to make every week. And so here's my thought. We're going to start the 1st of September. This is incorrect. It would be the 1st of September because we're going to start with all of these things. Then come October, so October 6th would be that first week. You're going to start doing your Christmas cards, and you're going to make so many per week so that when December 1st comes along, all you have to do is stick them in the mail. And so here's the time frame that I worked out. If you're going to make 25 cards total and you want them ready December 1st and you start October 6th, which is kind of the plan. I'm going to spend all of September sharing ideas with you. So you could either start then and be ahead of schedule, or you could start on October 6th and finish on November 30th. If you're going to do 25, you need to make 4 cards per week. If your total number of cards you want to make is 50, you're going to make 7 cards a week. If you want to make 100 cards total, you need to make 8 cards a week. So if you're busy, if you're working, if you have children, you may, making those, even those 4 cards a week, may be something that you have to budget time for. So if we can get all of this other stuff done so that that's all you have to do is make cards, it is going to be easier on you, and you're not going to feel like you're shrugging off some of your other chores or duties or whatever it is you need to do to get the Christmas cards done. And you're not going to be in a hurry, so they're going to look better in the end. So let's go through this timeline. So you're going to set, I'm going to show you mine because I did kind of edit this for me. So this is the one that you can download for you and you can edit it. Let me show you how I did. So I just put little boxes there so that I could check them off when I've actually done that. So I'm going to make 100 cards, and I am starting September 1st because as I make them to share them with you, those are going to be my cards. So 100 cards, and am I going to make multiple designs or only one design? I'm making multiple designs, but if you're making one design, that's great, and that's probably going to be easier. If I'm making multiple designs, what are my themes? And so I'll share those with you. So my themes are going to be like gingerbread, snowmen, candy canes, more the traditional Christmas themes. I'm sorry, excuse me. And then one that was really popular last year and is going to be popular again this year, according to all the Christmas decor in the big box stores, is that sweets theme. So like cupcakes and donuts and now macaroons. So we're going to make some cards along that line. Most of the colors are sweet, are pastel. And also there's another kind of nickname for this theme, and that's called Pink Mist instead of Christmas Pink Mist. And it's going from the pastel colors to all pink, all shades of pink. So that's kind of a theme too. And then the sparkles, so like a gold sparkly, silver sparkly, that's a big theme too. So we're going to do a few things with that. And then the jeweled tones are big this year. So like your Blackberry Bliss and your Night and Navy, or even some of those darker tones are going to be very, very popular this year. And then, of course, there is the woodland theme, and then the traditional Christmas, as well as the eco-friendly Christmas theme. So these are all the themes that I'm going to touch on and do little my interpretation of these themes. And so I have people that I'm sending cards to that would like each one of those themes, and I've already planned it out. So, you know, visit me each week in September so you can see how I do some of these things. And if you like them and you want to create them, fine. If you want to edit them, that's fine too. And then I selected a color palette. So the colors that I know I'm going to be using a lot of, I just listed them here. And that helped me with my inventory as well, because I needed to make sure that I had enough of everything. The very worst thing to do is need a white card base and you don't have any more white cardstock. That is just, I can tell you, that's the pit. And I have, on occasion, years past, maybe run out of something like that, and I ran to a big box store to get it because I couldn't wait for it to come by mail, and I was not happy with it. So I would rather be prepared and not do that. And so then I'm going to decide what card size I'm going to use, and because I'm doing so many cards, I'm doing that 100 mark, I'm going to just do all A2 size, but you can change it up if you want. That just meant with the A2, I have specific size envelopes as well, and I know that I'm going to keep the postage down with that, so that's why I chose that. I already sent my budget, and I came in under budget, so I was happy about that. I did do a lot of, when you buy product in the suite, or collection size, then you can save money, or even if you do bundles, you can save money. And I already, obviously, I purchased it, so I had created a shopping list. And then the techniques. So I have discovered some new techniques I can't wait to share with you. But we are also going to do heat embossing, dry embossing, alcohol markers, and fun folds. So those are definitely part of what I'm going to share with you. And then I already chose my sentiments and my stamps. Maybe now is a good time to share those with you. So for sentiments, one of the stamp sets that I chose was the words for the season. And I really like that. I have also chosen traditional labels. And I like that these are great for the inside of your card. And it's more than just Christmas. It's Halloween and Thanksgiving. But these can go on the inside of the card, and then these can go on the outside. And guess what? These come with dies, so that is so perfect because you can see that they are whimsical. They have different motion to them, so it's great to have those dies. And you know, I can see some of these are going to be maybe out of glitter paper, or glitter cardstock, I should say, or you know, specialty paper. We have some great specialty paper, and so they're going to look great, and also heat embossed, so they'll look good that way too. So these are my two new stamp sets that you're going to see a lot of when we start creating. And then I couldn't help myself, I had to get this set as well, and I like it a lot for my scrapbooking, but I also am I love the holly leaves and the holly, so I can't help myself with it. I just love them. But this is so great that I like the words for the scrapbooking. Perfect. So you're going to see that as well. As far as the stamp sets, we're going to be doing some Jar of Joy, and you know, just with this stamp set, you could do 3 different designs just with this stamp set. So you could use the jar, but inside you could do the gingerbread. And now I went gingerbread happy, I have to say. So I did a scrapbook, I've done some tags, I did some cards, but these are like 2-step stamps, so they're perfect. And then there's the snowman and then the ornament. So the snowman is also 2-step. You'll see the scarf and the little brim here. And then the perfect thing about this is there's some like little snow that you can do inside the jar to recreate it. And there's also some great sentiments here as well. There is a punch. If you happen to have the punch, you can use that. But you know what? I don't mind fussy cutting it. It's like so simple. Come on. It's really simple. And so yeah, we're going to be using this a lot. And then I did get the Tradition Sweets. This came with that one sentiment stamp too. So these have dies, and I love the poinsettia. Who doesn't like poinsettias, right? I just love them. And so I'm going to be using a lot of this. I can't wait, along with the dies. And then this is so cute, the Festive Friends. You can see 3 different designs right here without even really having to think about it. You got the snowman, you got Santa, you've got an elf, and you know what? This comes with dies as well. And I have to show this to you. So what's great about this is this stamp set comes with the dies, and in this die there is a tag die. So if you don't have a tag die, you do now when you get this. It's got the hole for the ribbon and everything, and it's perfect. These fit nicely. In the stamp set, you'll see that it says to and from, which is really important for tags. Or even those gift card holders, or the little treat boxes. So that's a good thing. And then you have your tag. And then these little dies cut out the little friends, so there's 3 of them. There's some snowflakes, which are great because you can use snowflakes on so many things, even scrapbook pages. So this is so perfect. So I didn't put them in. I know I didn't put them in straight. It's okay. But we're going to be using a lot of this as well. And then I have some designer series paper and ribbon, and we're just going to be decking the halls, as they say. So anyway, then just getting all my supplies together and planning them and doing sketches. And like I said, I will sometimes take my my little sprocket, and I'll take pictures, and then I have like a little sticker picture that I can keep forever and just document that card. And then organizing my mailing supplies, I'm pretty much done with that. Just waiting for my stamps. And then my list is done, my addresses are confirmed, and then I'm ready to start. So I would really like to invite you back next week on Monday, and we're going to start in with some projects. I have a lot of things lined up for you, so I'm excited. We're going to do a project today, so let's get started with it. So I have a friend that does cards, and by that I mean she for her church, she sends out cards to, for whatever reason, she's in charge of sending out the cards for whatever occasion. And so I want to send her a little box of all occasion cards. It's going to be my gift to her. It's not going to be Christmas themed, which is why I'm showing it to you today, but could you adapt it to Christmas themes? You certainly could. So if you have like a white elephant gift or something like that that you have to do, this would be perfect, because you can just go ahead and do like Christmas cards, and then whoever gets the gift will have their Christmas cards ready to go, and it will be your design. So here are the measurements. If you want to take a screenshot, go ahead and do that, and let's get going. So I'm starting with a piece of basic white cardstock, and we're going to start with the 8.5 inch side at the top. This is the template. And so when you go to ritaspapermotif.com, you'll be able to find this template. And so what we're going to do is, we're with the 8.5 inch side at the top, we're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. So there's 3/4 of an inch, and we're going to go ahead and score it. And then we're going to score at 1 1/4. So there's 1 1/4 right there. And if you line it up on the blip right here, it'll be straight. And then 7 1/4, so we're gonna put our arm out and go to 7 1/4. 7 1/4, there we are. And we're gonna go ahead and score. And 7 3/4. Again, we're gonna turn it, our cardstock, with the 11-inch side facing upward. And we're gonna score it, now I've already scored it, but we're gonna score it at 2 1/2, at 3, and 7 1/2, and at 8. Let's see here, 8. Okay, that's all the scoring that we need to do, so we can put away our trimmer. And what I find is really important is just go ahead and fold those score lines because you're going to need them once you start cutting your paper. And I'm going to bring that template out in just a second. Let me get this all folded. And sometimes taking a screenshot, so I'm so sorry, I don't know why I'm going hoarse. Sometimes taking a screenshot will just kind of helps bring everything together. So let's go ahead and do this. I am using the thick basic white, and I don't always for my cards because I put so many layers on them, but this is a box, going to be a box, and I want it to be, I want it to stand up. Let's see here. So that's kind of why I'm folding the lines is a little tricky there. Let's see, have we got it all folded? Okay, now we're going to do some cutting. So we're going to take our scissors, and let me get that template out again. So we're going to hold the 8 1/2 inch side up at the top, and we're going to start cutting at the bottom. And we have this first score line right here. So we're going to cut, it's actually 2 score lines over. And we're going to cut to that first score line. And then we're going to cut it off. Sorry, we're going to cut it off right here. And we're going to come and do the same thing on this side to that first score line. We'll cut it off. We'll flip it around so we can get all of these off. And this time we'll start at this side. I don't think it really matters, whatever works for you. To that first score line. Let's see here. I try not to pull it because sometimes that doesn't work so good. All right, here we go here, up to the first score line. And then we're gonna cut. Okay, now we do want to cut these right here because they're going to become the tabs. So here's what I'll do now. I'll cut to the second intersecting score line. I have to bring it closer, I'm sorry, because the light in my craft room has just changed. We have rainy weather here for the past few days, and it gets kind of gloomy. So here we go, up this way. So now you can see these tabs that I'm creating, right? Well, I'm going to tell you that I want to miter them just a tad. So I'm going to start at the bottom and just kind of take off just like a little triangle, just to take the bulk off. And sometimes it's easier if you just fold that part you don't want to cut up, because we don't want to take too much off. Just a little bit. Kind of like you want to take off those fold lines, right? Okay. Well, sorry. You know, there was a time where my vision was pretty poor and I wouldn't have been able to see that. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna clean up here a little bit. Let me just put this all in the garbage. I guess I could have saved some of those pieces, right? And now we're going to make our tabs. So we're gonna need our glue, and we're gonna put glue on these tabs right here. I'm just gonna put glue on all of them. And then we're gonna fold this up, and we're creating a box. So we're just going to hold that for a minute while the glue attaches to this part of the box. And then we'll do this side as well. And this side. So I like to pinch them and make sure that it's flush. Because this is narrow, you have to kind of be patient with it. Okay. Now you can see that our box is formed. And you could definitely use Tear and Tape on these ends if you wanted to. I'm just going to go ahead and use glue because I'm going to put glue on this. You see how one side is whiter than the other? So this is whiter. This is going to fold down on that and create our box, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue right here. You could put Tear and Tape. There isn't any reason why not. And I'm just going to hold it for a moment until it grabs. Now we're not going to secure this end down. But what I am going to do is I'm going to fold it so you can see what the box looks like, right? And then we're going to decorate it. So I'll show you what the cards are that I'm going to give to her, because these were cards that were kind of left over from the, I'm sorry, I'm falling apart over here. These are cards that were left over from an old paper pumpkin. Not that old, but a paper pumpkin. And so I had created alternatives, and I just saved them. And so I'm going to give them to her. She liked them. And I also have the envelopes that go with them. So I'm going to put these and the envelopes in the box, and that way she'll be ready to go. But I want to decorate this box with these pieces that are left over. So we see that we have a whole, this was a whole card base, and I'm going to cut it in half. You can even see the line where the half is. And then I could use this part, or I could use this part. So we'll see. But let's go ahead and cut it in half. And let me see here. So I'll just cut it on that very line that is already there. And I don't really need to do much more because it'll fit perfectly, right? And then this will also fit, could fit right here as well, or even just on here. So I'm just probably gonna put it like right on there. I don't know, we'll see when we get to it. But let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and put this on the front. And you can think about how you want to do the closure on here. You could do a belly band. You could definitely do a belly band if you want. I would take a Velcro closer here. So that, or you could do a Velcro closer. I'm just gonna cut this. I'm not gonna do that, but I am gonna cut this part right here, and I'm gonna glue it on and then cut it with my scissors. And so we're just gonna and it's so easy because we're just gonna follow that edge right there with our scissors. Okay, now we have this and we have the front. And look at what I made using that. Remember those festive Friends dies? I used that to create this. And it's going to sit right here, and then I'm going to stamp a message on there to her. And I'm going to put some ribbon right there. So let me just grab that ribbon, and I also wanted to grab the Velcro. Let's see what in the world. I'll get the ribbon. I have some old ribbon that I'm going to use. And then I have some Velcro. I'm not going to put the Velcro on right now, but I am going to do this ribbon, and I'm going to stamp my message on it. Let's see here. So this is old ribbon. I think it probably came from Michael's. And she's going to be opening this box. And I'm just like putting this ribbon just like this. I want it to be just like that. And so I'm going to try and do a bow. Hope I have enough ribbon. So just a little bow like this, and I'll stamp on there. Let's see, what stamp do I want to put? This is going to be a present to her, so even though it's not Christmas themed, now I have to think, what do I want to put on there? Well, I'm going to come up with an idea of a sentiment, and I'm going to put it on this basic white right here. And, oh, it's that. I don't want that. I want the basic white. So let's see, what size is that? So we're gonna do a 3.5 by 1.5. So let's do 1.5. And what did I say? 3.5. And 3.5. So I'll go ahead, and this looks too long. It is. Okay, there we go. You know what? I have a stamp right here. So let's just go ahead and let's go ahead and use this stamp. So we're going to use the stamp that says "Popping Up to Say Hi." I believe it will fit. Oh, it does. Okay, that's why I was kind of worried about it. Okay, and I'm going to use the Secret Sea, my new favorite color. And I am going to test this stamp. Yep. And I'm going to stamp before I stick in case we don't like this stamp. Okay, let's see. Popping Up to Say Hi. And I'm just going to go ahead, and you can use dimensionals or you can glue it. I'm just going to glue it. And then I'm gonna to secure it down, I'm gonna zhuzh this bow. Okay, and I am gonna just glue it to the box. You could, again, you could use your dimensionals if you want. Now I saw someone at a demonstrator's little thing yesterday do a box like this. Theirs is a little different than mine, but still kind of the same. So oh my gosh, here we go. I was hoping for Velcro, and here it is, but let's just take a little bit of Velcro and we're going to put the Velcro here, and then I'm going to cut a little bit of the fuzzy part off. And I am super sorry if I was out of camera range. And I'm going to put this Velcro, the fuzzy one, right on the not fuzzy one. I'll take off this sticky tape on the back of it. I tell you, I had some Velcro I was using one time. I could not get the back off. I was so frustrated. Here we go. Okay, and then it likes my finger. And then we're going to stick it down here. And then you have a closure. Now, like I said, you can definitely use a belly band. You could use ribbon. You don't have to use Velcro. I just chose to. So now I'm going to take my cards and my envelopes. And I'm going to fold those envelopes. And I may put some stamps in here so that she has stamps. Although I think that's supplied to her. I think her church supplies those. But now she has the envelopes that go right in here. I like to put those first because those sometimes are a little, getting them lined up is a thing. And then I'm going to go ahead and put these envelopes. I mean, cards. So note to self, sometimes those belly bands that we have, sometimes they're harder to, oh, it's this card. Sometimes you have to like be careful with the cards that you're putting in because they may, with all the glitz and glam that we put on them. So I'm finding that these that have the raised sentiment are easier if you put them in at the back, right before the envelopes. There you go. And then we just will close that. And she has a nice box of cards. And, you know, you could glam it up. I'll probably put some something goldish on here, some gold gems. And now we have a gift that is ready to go. I'll see her at Thanksgiving, so I'll probably give it to her at Thanksgiving just because it's not really intended for Christmas, but it'll be kind of Christmas early, I guess. So this could definitely be adapted for Christmas. You could put anything in here you wanted. This is pretty full and pretty heavy, but it's because those cards were big, and it's something I'm going to hand deliver, and it's something she's going to probably use over and over. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. It's kind of something brand new to my craft room, and I thought you might enjoy it. So again, I just want to remind you that the template and the directions will be on the website. You're more than welcome to grab them. And I will say that it might not appear till tomorrow, just because I have a meeting and I might not get to it till this evening. But I definitely did want to check in with your see how you're doing with your organizer, because Monday is right around the corner. It's just in a few days and we're going to get going. And so again, thank you for stopping by, and you have a great day. Bye now.